As time progresses, more roster updates have been known. Of course, DSG's been the biggest story that we've been following since Enemy came out to say he would be leaving DSG after Champs was over. But of course, after Timmy left DSG to go to Moist, they opened up that spot. They were trying denial, and of course, that didn't go well. He left the ALGS team as of recent. Who was going to be filling that spot? Well, of course, there has been some rumors. There's been some scrims. There's been playing with each other on ranked, and they even played with that Caden guy the other day, but things were going well. Well, they got a new one, and we have some results as of yesterday. So let's dive in and discuss what's happening in the ALGS scene right now. Firstly, had to make mention, Enemy came out after all these patch notes were on, no more Wraith, finally. So Design seems to finally be stepping away from the weird one-off Wraith comp meta. Now, I can't say that Wraith was necessarily a bad thing because, of course, they did pretty well at Split 1 playoffs, and Wraith was a weird little one-off thing that worked for him. Also, the Sentinel can kind of be said for the same. So it doesn't seem like with the new update, the patch notes are going to be going that way anymore. A lot of people in the comments like, how much did you pay for this? What made Design switch? Is he just going to leave the team because there's no shot he's not playing Wraith? But it seems like that is the case. Also, you had Big Q coming out to say that he was leaving Team Flat. Nano was one of the biggest influences and the reason that he got better, and he's now going to compete at LAN and lock in hashtag flattened. And so you had Enemy saying this guy is Jesus. Well, if you haven't put 2 and 2 together, Q is going to be the guy stepping in for Team Disguise, and we saw this last night in scrims, and you could see it seems more official. He's even got the name change, right? So very interested to see how this goes. Obviously, Q has kind of been an up and comer for a while, especially in the TDM days of just being able to be a controller freak and fry people. The guy is very, very talented, to say the least. Now, is this roster update going to work? Is it actually going to be as good as we thought? Well, what's going on with these comps? Because it is pretty, I think, important to note that certain legends obviously seem to favor certain players and play styles and teams. So last night you kind of had a really good look at the meta and what teams are currently running right now. A lot of Pathfinder. You could see inside of the top 10 only, you've got T-Law running Pathfinder. You've got NRG running Pathfinder. You've got DSG running Pathfinder. Some of these others as well, but you've also got a lot of Seer. So most commonly right now, we're seeing Bangalore still stay around. You've got Pathfinder kind of in the meta quite a bit. Seer's in a lot. You've also seen a lot of fuses here. We've seen a lot of catalysts here. So it does seem to be kind of alternating. It doesn't seem that Bloodhound is ultra favored, or at least a lot of these teams running Bloodhound aren't necessarily, dominating the lobby. One thing I think is for sure, and it's for certain, is that Pathfinder is a definite viable option. Of course, I really like this because Alberlelli is someone that I want to see improve, and I want to see, him on the big stage and see things go good for him as well. And he was an OG Pathfinder player, and I'm happy to see how Pathfinder shakes the meta up quite a bit. So how are these teams rated right now? Well, if you didn't see the Comp Apex K poll stats come out and your, top 25, these are kind of crazy. I think they're inaccurate to some degree. I think, well, and at least I think some of these picks are kind of chalked. But anyways, here's how they're currently rated. They've got Team Falcons in first place. I think that's an obvious given. I think Fnatic in second is pretty good. I think Legends in the top 3. I love it. I think LG deserves to be up there. SSG, I think, is being rated properly right now. For the most part, I think the obvious is obvious, and some of these are really good. The question is who in the world, others receiving votes? If you can't see this part at the bottom, these are some other votes that got cast to be involved here. How in the world is DSG being given a top 25 right now? I love the guys. I love the team. I just don't think that I think some of these picks are a little wild or a little crazy, but nonetheless, you still got some really good picks here. I do like NRG being up here. I feel like they have improved quite a bit. I feel like that Reject Winity is kind of low considering they just won the last LAN, but I kind of understand. They're not playing the best that they were as of the last couple of weeks. So FaZe Clan overall, I personally think this team is great. I don't think they are the 8th best team in the world right now. Just my personal opinion. I would put still many other, maybe APAC South, probably APAC North, maybe a lot of these North American teams that are sitting middle of the pack. Like, I personally think NRG is a better team than FaZe Clan right now, and I know they're on the opposite spectrum of all of this. Bleed Esports is obviously gaining a lot of traction right now, and I'm excited to see how all of this stuff plays out to land. Alliance is another team. Obviously, they're on the come up because they've been playing pretty lights out lately. In effect, I feel like has been playing some of his best Apex as well. So time will tell, obviously, as we go to land to see if any of these stats actually hold up to be true. Will there be any busts? Will anybody kind of, I guess just like drop the ball? NIP also in the middle of the pack, 16th. I feel like for a while they were kind of considered as EMEA's best team. I feel like Alliance has definitely taken the crown for that as of now, but obviously things can change over the next couple of weeks. But interested to see what you guys think about this top 25 that's been out as of late. Also, last couple of days of scrim recaps. Here's some of the results we've had since some of these things have changed. SSG was in first for AC Scrim 2 days ago. Pioneers in second, Team Liquid in the top 3, Temper NRG in the top 5. You know, you've got Falcons here, middle of the pack, Not Moist down here in 18th. Then you've got Not Moist winning the Scrim set once again. I don't know. I feel like I don't see this team in the top 3 often besides just first place. Like, I don't see them getting third or second often, or even really top 5. They just either win or they do bad. It's just like one or the other. Not Moist, though, in first place for this one. You did have some teams missing, so it is what it is. Also, you've got yesterday's scrims, and this was Space Station once again back at it. NRG in second, Yup in third, Team Falcons in fourth, CCE in fifth, Not Moist in sixth, Liquid Alienware in seventh, Bleed in eighth, Vanity in ninth, Native in 10th. And the list goes down. Pioneers did not play. Cloud9 here at the bottom. TSM struggling to find some identity, I guess, as of late. Also wanted to make mention of a new event coming around pretty shortly. Interested to see how this one really has an effect on esports in general, because I've always wondered, will Apex ever add new modes for ALGS, or, you know, transition to something new? I doubt it, because trios is just so established. But, you know, will quads be a better format for comp, considering the POIs that are going on, and there's less POIs and you've got less teams, so it kind of just makes sense that all teams can get a really good POI. Will rotations and third parties be a lot better in a quad setting, because it's only 15 teams rather than 20? So they are actually hosting a Quad Up Invitational, and this is going to be very interesting. So you're going to be able to see pros and content creators play the new Quads Takeover on June the 29th. So that is today at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So that's going to be 6 p.m. Eastern. $50,000 prize pool as well. Interested to see how all of that goes down. G-Dolphin saying, unfortunately, another tournament that Euros cannot play. So interested to see how it all goes down. Of course, the night is still young for a lot of these roster updates, like the Skies. Yeah, they made this roster update, but they're still kind of in the middle of the pack. 12th place, nothing crazy. This is kind of the same Disguise that we've seen for a while. So they've got some time, obviously, to put the work in. I think they did the roster change at the perfect time, because they've got weeks before they have to play their next match on match day number 8. That's going to be July the 7th and the 6th. So you're going to have match day 8 and 9 back-to-back, Group A versus Group C and Group B versus Group C. So you're going to have Group C get to play 2 more games. And of course, Disguised is inside of Group C. So that's why this is pretty important. So interested to see how they take advantage of this opportunity. But of course, they are in a tricky situation with a lot of points to catch up with. Like, I think it's impossible. Disguise would literally need, let's say, first place 25. If you go back-to-back first, you get 50. So that'd be 50 plus 15, 65 points. Technically, I guess it could work. If they can double win, they possibly could really have a chance, I guess. So time will tell. Obviously, Moist is probably in a better situation than what we had previously discussed. They are only about 3 points off the, you know, cusp of actually getting qualified into this. But there are a lot of teams here with only 4 games played. We'll have to see if they can pull it off in their next 2 match days coming up next week. So let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below about some of the roster updates, specifically with Disguised, and how are you feeling about the top 25 as well. And until the next time, we'll see you all later, Gators.